Cruise embarkation has changed, but far too many cruisers are still boarding like it's 2018. That's why we're sharing what smart cruisers are doing on embarkation day right now and the supposed embarkation day insider hacks that actually no longer work. That way, you'll be one step ahead of everyone else on board. Up next. Welcome aboard. I'm Don B from Eat Sleep Cruise, and for many years, the advice was simple: arrive at the cruise terminal as early as possible. The thinking was that the earlier arrival meant earlier boarding and more time to enjoy the ship. Today, that approach often has the opposite effect. Most cruise lines now operate with assigned arrival times, staggered boarding groups, and digital check-in processes. Arriving too early frequently means waiting outside the terminal, standing in long lines, or sitting in crowded seating areas until your boarding group is called. So arriving early might just mean that you're waiting longer. So instead of racing to the terminal, we recommend arriving within your assigned check-in window, allowing time for security and document checks without rushing, and treating embarkation day as a transition, not a competition. Cruisers who arrive at the right time often experience a smoother, calmer start and step on board feeling relaxed rather than tired. Embarkation day isn't about being first, it's about starting your vacation well. Now, we do understand for some cruisers, being among the first on board is part of the experience. If that is important to you, there are better ways to do it than simply showing up. Many cruise lines now offer priority access programs that allow you to board early without the stress of standing in long lines or waiting outside the terminal. For example, Carnival Cruise Line offers Faster to the Fun, an upgrade option that includes priority boarding, expedited guest service access, and earlier stateroom access when available, plus other perks. Likewise, Royal Caribbean offers the Key, which combines priority embarkation with reserved seating for shows, expedited disembarkation, and other onboard benefits. For most, arriving within your assigned check-in time and following a relaxed embarkation routine works perfectly well. But if being first on board brings you peace of mind or simply adds to your enjoyment, purchasing priority access is often a smoother and less stressful alternative. One of the first things we do after boarding a cruise ship is to connect to the ship's intranet and access the app. This small step has become far more important than it was in the past, and it can save time and frustration later in the day. Cruise line apps are now central to how many ships operate. They contain the daily schedules, dining reservations, booking shows, account details, and even the mandatory safety drill are often managed through the app. And don't worry, we'll get to that in a few minutes. Take a few minutes to connect early helps everything run smoothly from the start. In fact, sometimes, depending on the strength of the signal of the ship, you can actually connect to the cruise line's intranet and access the app while still in the terminal. Even if you don't have an internet package, most cruise lines allow you to access the app once your phone is connected to the ship's intranet. Turning on airplane mode and then connecting once on board is usually all that is required. Doing it earlier in the day also helps figure out if there are any connectivity issues. It gives the app time to fully sync with your booking. We found that some information takes a little while to populate after boarding, and checking too quickly can make it seem like something is missing when it's simply still updating. On today's cruise ships, the app is often your best first stop. Sorry, bar. While we recommend you leave your larger suitcases with the porters, it's important that someone in your travel party carries a small carry-on bag on board. We typically bring a book bag or a tote bag. In it, we keep the items we need during the first few hours on board, as well as anything we wouldn't want separated from us. Your carry-on should include all the essential documents, including your passport, as well as print copies of any pre-cruise reservations you made, whether it's onboard activities, specialty dining, or shore excursions. Your carry-on bag should include electronics such as phones, tablets, cameras, or laptops, and any necessary medication. It's also helpful to have your phone chargers or power banks, sunglasses, sunscreen, and a few small personal items that make the day more comfortable. For warmer weather or tropical cruises, pack that bathing suit in your carry-on. Changing into swimwear allows you to enjoy the pool or hot tub while the ship is still relatively quiet, rather than waiting for your luggage to be delivered later in the day. If you plan to bring wine on board, keep in mind that most cruise lines require it be in your carry-on rather than placed in your checked luggage. If you choose to take advantage of this allowance, be sure those bottles are packed securely in your carry-on bag. Having a well-organized carry-on means you're prepared, comfortable, and not dependent on your luggage arriving quickly, which helps keep embarkation day relaxed and flexible. Whether you're among the first to board or some of the last to actually board, when you're at the cruise terminal, things can be hectic and it can be busy. If there are any delays or queues form, just take a deep breath and relax. Also, please listen to the instructions and directions from the shoreside staff members. Truthfully, the staff are doing their best to keep everyone in line and keep the process moving as quickly as possible. Whether it's security agents, check-in specialists, or those organizing boarding groups, please be courteous and patient. We know it's tempting, and odds are there'll be fellow cruisers who are rude, cutting in line, ignoring directions, but don't be that person. Simply play by the cruise line's rules, and believe us, your cruise boarding day will be smooth sailing. Many passengers have this instinct to immediately find their stateroom, drop their bags, start unpacking, and get settled in. While this feels productive and organized, it's actually one of the least efficient uses of your embarkation day time. Here's why heading to your cabin right away doesn't make sense. First off, your cabin might not be ready yet. While cruise lines typically promise cabins will be ready usually between 1:30 and 2, you might board as early as 11 a.m. or noon. If you head straight to your cabin, you might find yourself standing in a hallway waiting, or arriving at a room that hasn't been cleaned yet. Even if your room is ready, your luggage might not be there yet. The ship's crew need time to deliver luggage to thousands of staterooms. Your bags might not arrive for several hours after you board. You're also wasting precious exploration time. The first couple hours after boarding are when the ship is at its calmest, so use this time to explore with fewer crowds. And of course, you'll have plenty of cabin time later. Your stateroom will be your home base for the entire cruise. You'll spend every night there and have countless opportunities to organize your belongings. There's no rush to set up camp immediately. Regardless of who you are, what cabin you stay in, or what ship you're sailing on, the muster drill, also known as the mandatory safety drill, is non-negotiable. Every single passenger must participate before the ship can leave port, so there's no skipping this one even if you wanted to. In the past, muster drills meant crowding into designated assembly stations with hundreds of other passengers, often while wearing life jackets in a hot, cramped space. However, many cruise lines have modernized this process. Many now offer e-muster or virtual muster drills where you watch a safety video on your stateroom TV or via the cruise line app, then check in at your muster station briefly to confirm attendance. This streamlined process takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes instead of 30 to 45 minutes in the old way. The muster drill typically happens within the first few hours of boarding, and you'll receive notification about when and where to go or what to watch. Don't try to be clever and skip it. The crew will track you down, and you don't want to be that person holding up the entire ship's departure. If you haven't already booked everything pre-cruise, deciding what to do first on a cruise includes securing any remaining reservations before they fill up. Some of the things you typically need to book may include specialty dining. If you want to try the onboard steakhouse, Italian restaurant, or any other specialty venue, book it now. Prime dinner times go quickly, especially on sea days, and many cruise lines actually offer discounts if you eat at a specialty restaurant in the first couple days of a sailing. Spa treatments. Spa often offers embarkation day specials with discounted rates. Even if you don't take advantage of these deals, booking your preferred treatments now ensures you get your ideal day and time. Some cruise lines require reservations for certain shows, comedy performances, or special entertainment. These can book up fast, so secure your reservations within the first few hours after boarding your cruise ship. And while you should ideally book your shore excursions before the cruise, if you're still deciding or if new availability has opened up, you can check with the shore excursions desk or the app. But smart cruisers know that you can save up to 40% off the cruise line's advertised shore excursion prices by using Shore Excursions Group. Their online platform makes it super easy to find the shore excursions available for your particular itinerary. All you need to do is put in the ship, sailing date, and Shore Excursions Group will provide you with a list of all the excursions at the different ports of call, and depending on the region, you might be able to take advantage of bundle deals for even further savings. So scan the QR code on screen or click our exclusive link down in the description and start saving on your shore excursions today. Here's one of our suggestions to buck the trend. Skip the embarkation day buffet. Yes, we said it. The buffet on embarkation day is often just a hot mess. Picture this, 3,000 passengers who just boarded the ship, they're hungry, they're excited, and they all have the same exact idea. At roughly the same time. What's the result? Well, possibly long lines, zero available tables, people hovering over your shoulder waiting for your seat, or waiting to grab a spoon from you to get some food, and a generally stressful experience that's the opposite of a relaxing vacation. We get why so many people head there. The buffet is familiar, it's casual, it offers variety, and quite honestly, most of the time the crew members are guiding you in that direction. But there are so many better alternatives. For instance, some cruise lines open up their main dining room for embarkation day lunch, and it's shockingly underutilized. Here you get table service, a calmer atmosphere, and the chance to actually sit down and relax. However, most ships also offer other casual venues like a pizzeria, a burger joint, or a taco bar that's also open on boarding day. These spots typically have much shorter lines than the main buffet. If you can hold off with a snack or a drink from another location, you'll have a much better experience with shorter lines and available seating if you go closer to when the buffet is supposed to close. So just don't wait too long, as all venues shut down before the mandatory safety drill announcement made by the captain. Stopping by guest services used to be a fairly normal part of embarkation day. Whether it was to ask a question, make a change, or double check a reservation, many cruisers headed there shortly after boarding. Today, this is one habit we always avoid. Guest service is at its busiest on embarkation day. Thousands of passengers are boarding at once, many with questions about dining, excursions, billing, onboard activities, their reservation. The result is often long lines and extended wait times, not the most relaxing way to begin a cruise. What has changed is how much can now be handled without standing in line. Most cruise lines rely heavily on their onboard app, and many common tasks that once required a visit to guest services can now be done digitally. Dining reservations, show bookings, account details, daily schedules, even messaging other guests are often available right from your smartphone. As we mentioned earlier, when we board, we give the app some time to update and review our plans before deciding whether anything actually needs our attention. In many cases, what seemed like an issue resolves itself once everything syncs properly. There are still times when visiting guest services might make sense on embarkation day, such as a stateroom issue that needs immediate attention, a billing concern that cannot be resolved in the app, or a time-sensitive problem that requires staff assistance. If you do need to go, try to go later in the afternoon or evening when it's often quieter than the first few hours of boarding. By avoiding guest services unless it's truly necessary, you can save time, skip unnecessary stress, and keep embarkation day focused on settling in rather than standing in line. Once your stateroom is ready, it's a good idea to make a point of meeting your stateroom attendant. This is a small but important step that can make your cruise more comfortable from the very beginning. Your stateroom attendant is the person who will be looking after your cabin throughout the cruise, and embarkation day is often their busiest. A brief introduction allows you to put a face with a name and helps establish an easy, friendly connection early on. This is also the best time to prioritize any preferences you may have. If you have a preferred time for the room to be made up, specific bedding needs, or configuration requests, especially when traveling with children, mentioning them early on can be very helpful. Requests such as different pillows, extra blankets, or additional towels are much easier to accommodate when discussed at the start of the cruise. Many stateroom attendants will leave a card with their name and contact information in the cabin. If you have a moment, it can also be useful to review a few cabin details together, such as how the climate control works, how to adjust lighting, or how to use any interactive displays or advanced features found on some newer ships. Getting to know your stateroom attendant also makes interactions throughout the cruise more natural. Being able to say hello in the hallway or quickly check in about a small request adds to a smoother, more personalized onboard experience. Taking a few minutes on embarkation day to connect with your stateroom attendant ensures your preferences are understood and allows you to settle in comfortably, setting a positive tone for the rest of your cruise. One of the smartest things to do when you board a cruise ship is exploring while it's relatively calm and before your luggage arrives. It's crucial to get your bearings, find out where everything is located, and discover spots you want to return to later. When scouting your explorations, check out the various pools, hot tubs, and lounging areas. Note which spots get the most sun, where the shaded areas are, and locate those hidden gem seating areas that most passengers overlook. Find the adult-only areas, if your ship has them, or the tucked-away deck spaces perfect for peaceful relaxation. These spots fill up quickly late in the cruise, so knowing where they are gives you an advantage. Scope out the various bars so you know where to find your favorite atmosphere and drinks later. Some ships have a dozen or more different bars, each with its own vibe and usually its own signature cocktail menu. Locate the theater, the comedy club, the music venues, and other entertainment spaces so you're not scrambling to find them later in the cruise. Also, walk past all the various restaurants, both the complimentary and the specialty restaurants, so you know what's available. There's something undeniably satisfying about that first drink on a cruise ship. Whether it's a frozen daiquiri by the pool, a glass of champagne, or just a cold beer, grabbing a beverage is often one of the first things many cruisers do after boarding. And honestly, this is a tradition worth keeping. That first drink signals that vacation has officially begun. It's a ritual that helps you transition from travel mode to relaxation mode. Plus, if you purchase a drink package, your embarkation day beverages are practically free. Well, in cruise math anyway. Just be careful though, some ports do charge a local tax on embarkation day, which might be a surprise if you haven't cruised in a while. The Lido deck bars are usually open and ready for thirsty guests. Some ships even have welcome cocktails or champagne available as soon as you pass security. Our advice? Go and get that drink. Find a spot with a view. Take a breath and let yourself feel that vacation excitement. You've earned it. Just pace yourself. You have a whole week ahead. You don't want to start off on day 2 with a hangover. The key to a great embarkation day is understanding that it's not just about checking off a to-do list. It's about starting your vacation on the right foot. When you're thinking about what to do first on a cruise, prioritize experiences that help you relax rather than those that add unnecessary stress. Whether it's grabbing that first drink, taking a spa tour and booking a thermal suite pass, deciding to pay for the overpriced Wi-Fi, that way you can stay connected all week, whatever it takes to help you feel relaxed and settled in, go for it. By making smart choices during these crucial first hours, you'll set the tone for an amazing week at sea. Making the most of your embarkation day is just one of the expert hacks experienced cruisers know, but it's not the only one. That's why we've put together our Cruise Secrets video right here on YouTube. It includes our cruise booking strategies, cabin hacks, and onboard traveling advice that will save you time and money and ensure you're one step ahead of everyone else on board, so your next cruise is smooth sailing.